All right, let's get rocking and rolling here because I got some business coaching for you. I hope y'all are ready. Hope your minds are all right now after listening to some of that right there about what it's going to take to make some big, bold, uncomfortable decisions. Well, in the business coaching, I call this the three S success stack. 3 S's: systems, structure, scale. Systems, structure, scale. I'm going to break each of these down for a moment so you can wrap your head around it as you're working out right now, you're listening in. Because when you think about success, think about successful companies. What comes to mind? Whatever brands come to mind, whatever businesses come to mind, if they're successful businesses, they're going to have systems, they're going to have some structure, and they're going to be scalable. Even if it's only one, just as one of my mentors, Wayne Cotton, told me many, many moons ago, when you build it like you're going to build 500 more. Well, 25 years later, that's what I'm doing, Wayne. We're building it so we can build 500 more. That's called IXP, but that's another episode. Number one, systems. What are the systems like? In order to be maximally successful, you must have systems in your business. Now, you all know what system stands for. Saves you some time, energy, and money. Saves you some time, energy, and money. That's what system stands for. So what is systems? This is where you start to automate everything. And you have some standing operating procedures. Sometimes that's called SOPs. SOPs are standing operating procedures. You're writing down everything that you do. But you're like, Todd, I'm a solopreneur. Doesn't matter. Write it down. Have a standing operating procedure for everything that you do. This is where you're getting to specific projects, and you're going to manage specific projects. And if you have a team of 1, 2, or 3, 5, 20, whatever it may be, you have training for the team, and you have onboarding for that team. When you have hires, because as we start to scale out, you're going to need to have onboarding and systems in place so you're not running yourself ragged and go back into stability or even survival mode because now all of a sudden you have more people. The purpose of hiring people is to simplify the system so that you can really focus on what you do best, right? When I talk about your divine uniqueness, you're staying in your lane and you have the systems now that are allowing you to do that. An example of that is my guy, Travis Barnes. He's my business partner at Impact X Performance. He's a systems guy. He is a systems guy. I'm the visionary, and I love to do my coaching, and I'm a visionary of what we're going to do with Impact X Performance. Travis, he loves the systems aspect of that, and that's why we work so well together, is because you need, if not you, someone who can help implement the systems that are drawn up and then be able to execute that with your team, whether your team is, again, 5 people, 6 people, 20 people, or hundreds of people. You need to have that systems guy. So that's number one, is systems in the 3S success stack. Then you have structure. What's the structure? The structure is your organizational chart, if you will, where you have defined roles. As your team grows, this is important. Now, if I step back many moons ago when I was growing my business, Fitness Quest 10, it was very, very I'll just say organic, but we all had overlapping roles and we did not have clear defined roles, which led to some inefficiencies. I've improved that now with IXP, so everyone's got clear defined roles. We have Chase in a marketing role. We have defined what his role is. And we've got 7 people on the inside of Impact X Performance that help out to execute what needs to get done for our franchise business owners. On that includes communication systems and how things are getting done with that. And that's shifting from everyone doing everything to clear accountability. Because when there's an accountability chart and an organizational chart, we can provide the accountability that's necessary. So that's one of the reasons why we've adopted the L10 format from the EOS model, and it works really well. And we use that at IXP. Many of you in the mastermind, if you're listening in, use that. Many of you outside the mastermind probably use that as well. But it provides for a format where we all have defined roles, the visionary, the integrator, and then we go all the way down with our roles in there on that. So number 2 is structure. You got systems, you got structure, and then you have scale. I talked a little bit about scale last week and what I'm doing to scale. But once the systems and the structure are in place, then you can scale your offer. you can scale your team and you can scale your audience as well. Like you can grow your audience even bigger. Right. So one of the things that we've worked on, you hear me every week say, hey guys, thanks so much for joining me on the Impact Show. If you can please share this message, it helps us grow our impact across this globe. Well, as we look to grow our influence and impact across the globe, it's the same thing internally on your team. How do you do that? How do you scale what your offer is? Right? Is it one or two offers, or maybe you've grown to success now and you have 3 or 4 or 5 offers on that? Your team would be all the people who are helping you execute the vision. And as your vision expands and grows, you need more people underneath you to help you execute that. Otherwise, you go back into survival mode, trying to do everything to everyone, working 90 plus hours a week, which isn't very sustainable. That's not a good thing. And then also, it's also where you can refine and develop that niche. And then sometimes I think your clients and members define your niche, and sometimes I think you define it. What do I mean by that? Some of y'all out there think I just train NFL athletes, and that's what I do, because some of the more notable athletes that I've trained, that's what I do. But that's only a portion of what I've done and what I do to this day on that. And that's been defined from the outside world because I love coaching all people. I still train and coach a lot of moms and dads, solopreneurs, entrepreneurs looking to get to the next level. And that's as much as me as actual training in the trenches also on that. So as you look to refine and develop that niche and scale your geographic expansion like we are at IXP, then you have your systems, your structure, and your scale. So right now, what I want you to do is I want you to think about your systems, your structure, and your scalability, and what can you do to improve this? My question to you in coaching you is, what can you do to improve your systems? How can you structure your business even more? And how can you scale it? And you're like, Todd, I don't want to scale it really big. That's okay. But how do you scale it or set it up to be able to be scalable a year from now, 3 years from now, 5 years from now, because you want to create that business as if, quote, you're going to build 500 more. And, recently, an example, one of the clients I work with inside my mastermind group, his name is Brady, not my son Brady, but another Brady. And he wanted to open a studio and he wanted to open it fast. And his mastermind teammates, his own peers, were slowing him down. And now these are entrepreneurs. They like to go quick, right? Entrepreneurs. But they were telling them to slow down and pause, and before just going and saying yes, is build out the team and think about who's going to be on your team and who's going to help scale that model inside of a gym, your model, your IP inside of a gym. And now, because he slowed down a little bit, he was able to put these systems in place, the structure in place that was necessary. And guess what? Now, not only is he launching with confidence because he's got a team behind him, his revenue is up, his systems are in place, and the studio is now in expansion mode. It's growing. It's not a rescue plan. It's actually growing. That, to me, is a major win. So get your systems, get your structure, and get your scalability in place, and the rest is going to be history.